Welcome to Ag Marketing IQ In Depth. Today we have Naomi Blohm to talk to us a little bit about what we're going to see in 26. I mean, this is the last day of 25. There's a lot of thoughts about what we might see. There are very few people who are unexcited about seeing 25 in the rearview mirror. That's adding a little bit of joy to New Year's. But what are you seeing coming into 26, Naomi?
Well, I think we're going to see a little bit more of markets trading in a somewhat, I'll be honest, lackluster pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, just the perception is that the world has just enough corn, soybeans, and wheat from that global perspective. And when we have that perception, that's what keeps the market price from rallying. So it might be tricky this year to see the corn futures contracts climb above $5 or the soybean futures contracts climb above 12 and Chicago wheat to climb above 6. It would take some dramatic weather to get those market prices to spur strongly higher on a perception of less production. So those are things that could happen, of course, with South American weather, as we're watching in January. January is going to be the bulk of their main growing season and into February. And then, of course, we'll have to be watching our markets this summer and weather issues here in the United States, because, the United States still, we matter. We absolutely matter in terms of global corn and soybean production. So there's always that risk that if there is a weather issue, market prices can really respond because the demand is strong. But again, because we have this perception of good enough supplies for now, we might just have a little bit of a quiet market pace this coming year, mirroring something like what we had last year.
And when we say that, still we get those little bumps here and there. So what can a farmer do to ensure that they are giving themselves the greatest opportunity for those higher prices?
Yeah. So the biggest thing for 2026, I know you're just wrapping up holidays and holiday with time with family, but you've really got to be understanding pencil to paper right now and knowing your cost of production. And I'm sure most of you have your idea as far as what you're going to be planting for the spring, but you've got to know for sure cost of production and what break even is for you. Therefore, you know what a profit is for you, because the market price usually 1 or 2 times a year is going to offer you a profitable price point. It may not be, extreme amounts of profit, especially in years where we have this ample global production view that keeps a lid on a price rally. But 1 or 2 times a year, there's going to be an opportunity. And so you've got to be knowing where your cost of production is, knowing where your profitable points are, and then getting orders in with your elevator to be making cash sales and have a good percent of your production that you're going to be pricing at those levels working at the elevator, because, sometimes those rallies will come and go in just a few days' time. And only the people that have the orders working ahead of time are the ones that are able to capitalize on it. So, and be mindful of how a lot of times between January and February is when we get our big potential winter rally. And that's going to be a great opportunity to be making sales on grain in the bin, and also to be thinking about forward contracting that 2026 crop as well.
Yeah. So when we're thinking about that, while you were talking, I was thinking about when soybean rust was coming into the country and everyone was saying you can't do windshield scouting of your soybean fields. We had to get a lot more intense about how we were looking at our crops to decide what we're going to put out, when we're going to put it out. Feels like that's the same moment in marketing right now. You can't just check those numbers once a week. You need to be checking them once or twice, even a day.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Especially the couple times a year where traditionally there is a better marketing opportunity. So that time frame, again, is oftentimes mid-January to mid-February for that winter potential rally, which is oftentimes based on either the January WASDE report or South American weather. And then that other time would be the late spring, early summer price rally. That's usually it, the 2 times a year. And there's about a 2 to 3 week window within both of those timeframes where there's going to be some opportunity. But it's usually, again, 1, 2, or 3 days within that 3 weeks where it's the day to be making the sale. So you got to really be on your toes. And to your point, checking the markets more than once a day. And it's tempting, especially for some folks who are snowbirding, to want to just be enjoying their vacation time. Or sometimes, with winter, you're just so focused on moving snow, or you're just busy with things around your farm, but you've got to make time for marketing every day.
Yeah, well, and we say there's only a couple times, but what we've seen this past year is quick, brief market reaction to a post, a tweet, a comment from a geopolitical leader in this country or outside the country. And man, if you can grab that, sometimes it's only a few hours.
Yes. Yep. And that's a great point too. So it's one of those things where sometimes you can get set up with alerts on Twitter or X that can, ping your phone and then make you look at it. Or sometimes you can get a text message service to your phone with grain market updates 2 or 3 times a day. So yeah, having those orders though in place ahead of time. And to do that, you need to, of course, like I said, know where your profitable points are, but have a realistic expectation of what the market might be offering you. So, like I said, from a technical standpoint and from a fundamental standpoint right now, it's going to be really tricky to see corn futures prices trade above 5 and the bean futures prices to trade above 12. So that might be our reality of what we're working with this year, unless, to your point, there's a geopolitical issue that makes things just go substantially through those areas, or weather issue as well. But yeah, you got to really be on your toes this time of year for sure.
Well, it's good to have you with us as always. And I'm thinking, as you say, stay on your toes. Read your blog on farmfutures.com, because Ag Marketing IQ, you guys are really quick, and you particularly are really quick sometimes with letting people know now's your minute.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. So yeah, I do try to get that blog out there every week, usually Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, just kind of depending on what's going on. So I appreciate the opportunity to be able to share with folks what's happening. And I'm thankful to work with our compliance team at our office to help me be able to get you that timely information that's so critical to your marketing and marketing decisions, because there'll be information in there about technical charts, about seasonals, about things that could maybe make the market go higher, or what are things that you should be watching that could suddenly make prices drop lower. So we want to just keep you educated as best as possible.
Yes, thank you very much for that. That's what we try and serve our audience with, and it's especially important to have experts like you providing that information. Thanks for joining us today, Naomi, and have a happy New Year.
Thank you. Same to you.